All right, so you might be thinking, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life, right? Everybody, for a moment here, I don't know if it's, I doubt it's popular. I doubt that adding to your winning position is yet popularized. I mean, I doubt that this is going to catch on with all the other speakers. All right? There's not very many people that are going to come here and teach you a trading strategy and tell you, as this trade opens up, I want you to pile it on. Not a lot of people are going to do that because they're going to feel like they're on the hook for that later on, and they secretly know that what they teach doesn't really work. No, totally kidding. I'm totally joking. Totally joking around. But it is complicated. At first it's like, boy, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're saying that I'm going to add to my risk as the position goes in my favor. And I know that initially sounds strange, and I want to reiterate that with any type of reward in this market comes great risk. This is a risky way of trading. This does increase the risk as the position goes in your favor. It does do that. And those of you that know me know that once it opens up 9 or 10 trades in your stack and it starts to turn around on you, those are not happy days. Those are terrible days. Those are days where your family, you don't talk to your family doesn't talk to you, your pets are wondering what's going on. It's just a bad day. So, of course it carries risk. A vortex is a swirling, sucking force that grips a financial instrument and pulls it in. A vortex is a panic-driven, crowd-driven response to some kind of unexpected event. A vortex when you're not buying outside because you sold the bank short. This type of trading, I was asked recently if this type of trading is a patient approach or not. Well, I think that anything that I do benefits from patience. So I wait for some type of panic-driven move in the market. What we're waiting for is some type of experience in the market where we've moved a great deal, which we'll talk about what that means. We've moved a great deal within a short period of time, and we're waiting to trade that in the opposite direction. Now, if you had had the chance to buy Goldman Sachs at 75 during the financial crisis, which everybody had a chance, but Warren Buffett was probably the highest profile individual that did so. That would be a vortex trade. When the rest of the world is panicking as after something's gone in one direction, you do the opposite. So I'm automatically telling you something that carries some risk. It's Warren Buffett buying Goldman Sachs at 75 in the midst of the greatest financial crisis since the Great Depression, or Jim Cramer telling you to buy Bear Stearns 3 days before it went down the crapper. That would have, been a disastrous experience. One was profitable and one was very, very unprofitable. But both were sort of vortex trades. Both were sort of taking a risk at a peak moment of panic in the market. But a vortex is when you profit from a meltdown someplace else. You wait for the crash and then you act. Ozzy Osbourne's in the middle just because. I just couldn't find another example of an irresponsible financial professional, so I used an irresponsible individual. These are all people that were heavily regulated by the SEC or by other governmental authorities. And I just wanted to take a moment and express my appreciation for regulation and how it saved us from problems with AIG. It saved Bear Stearns' hedge funds from melting down. It saved us from Bernie Madoff. Imagine the people that would have lost their life savings with Bernie Madoff if it hadn't been for the SEC making sure they were protected. Imagine long-term capital management. Imagine the disaster that long-term capital management would have been in 1998 if it hadn't been for the fact that they caught that early and that everybody was made whole. It just brings tears to my eyes. And I just want to express my appreciation for how regulation has improved our lives. A vortex trade is a way to profit from short-term price exaggeration. It is not the only way to do it. It's not the holy grail of anything. I am not here today to criticize other people's trading methodologies. I think that you can learn something from everybody here that speaks today. Some people, I've got so much to learn myself. I am not here today, joking aside, I'm not here today to tell you I'm smarter than you or that I know better than you or whatever. I probably have done this longer than most of you, but that doesn't mean I'm smarter than you or that I don't make mistakes myself. My philosophy on this business is that you learn something specific. One currency pair, one trading strategy, and then you test the ever-loving crap out of it, and then you focus on it. That you spend time focusing. And that when you focus, you profit. When you focus, you make money. That is the trick here. That there's so many people doing so many different things. And it's why conferences like this can be so confusing. You leave here kind of dumber than when you got here. And then you got to spend a few days to sort it all out. Well, so-and-so said this, and so-and-so said that, and you raise your hand and say, well, so-and-so said never to hold a trade over the weekend. And then so-and-so said, well, I would never trade, And it's just so much information, and all my recommendation is really, don't ever think that, despite I'm standing up higher than you and separated from you and blah, blah, blah. Really, we're in the same spot here. We're doing the same thing, and we're trying to do the same stuff. And we're both trying really hard to make it profitable. And I feel humbled by the thought that there are people here today that aren't standing up in front of us all who do this much better than I do. And I want you to understand there's something to learn from the people next to you as well. In trading, the possibility of loss is as great as the possibility of gain. Nothing in this presentation is meant to convince you otherwise, and put that in your smoke and pipe it. I am not here today to pump you full of dreams of millions of dollars made within a short period of time. It's more like billions, really, when you get down to it.